Port commissioners listened to several prospective buyers describe why they were important parts of the community and wished to buy the Lower Hannell Mill property. They then weighed the three competing offers and made their decision for the evening.
Paul Jones, I'll walk and talk at the same time. 3763 Neil Creek Road. Thank you for the opportunity to let me speak today. So I'm here as a local business owner who is trying for over 8 years to buy this piece of property. I've been in, we had a purchase and sale agreement years ago with the port. We're going to put a pallet manufacturing in there to help the ag industry, as well as reduce wildland wildland firefighting to take small trees off the landscape. We were this close, commission change whenever we're able to get it through. So this is not simply an investment for me, but this is an investment in the community. My four companies, Weiss Timber Services, Middle Mountain Trucking, Gorge Portable Sanitation, and Neil Creek Forest Products, are exactly what I believe makes Hood River Valley very special. We are a small, locally owned company. We employ local people. We pay family supporting wages. We buy from other local businesses, and we reinvest our dollars right here in the Gorge. We understand that we are competing in the market with large companies and very wealthy individuals, that I'm a small business and cannot match that. I cannot match Jeff Bezos' money. I'm not going to pretend that I can. But what I can compete with is a commitment to our community. Our small businesses are the heartbeat of the fabric of this community. When a local company grows, the growth creates jobs for local families. Those employees buy homes, shop at local businesses, pay taxes, coach youth sports. I got a degree in that. Volunteer and contribute to the community in ways that don't show up on the balance sheet. On Thursday, I got a phone call from Wasco County that the fair was canceled out there. They immediately called me up and said, the fair is being moved to Hood River. What can you donate? We instantly brought sawdust out to the fair. We brought porta potties so they can take care of themselves and reach a text message. Hi, Paul. This is Maddie Huckabee. I hope you and your family had a good summer. I'm finally a freshman in high school now. I'm playing volleyball and softball. I'm reaching out to see if you, Neil Creek, would be interested in helping sponsoring, donating, or even participating in the Hall of Fame golf tournament for Hood River Valley softball and basketball is hosting. I'm attaching a brochure. Would you please donate? Yes, Maddie, I would love to donate $1,000. That is the fabric of a local business. The Hannell property would give my businesses opportunity to grow. It would provide space for me to expand our operations, and most importantly, create and maintain more good family wage jobs. My company currently spends over $100,000 a year in bridge tolls. $100,000 a year in bridge tolls. My business philosophy has always been support other businesses that support you, and I would ask that you could take that into consideration. I'm not asking the port to choose a small business simply because we're small. I'm asking you to consider what the long-term impacts of what small business can be. At the end of the day, the question is bigger than who can write the biggest check today. It's about what kind of community we can provide. Selling this property to local businesses won't be as large as a number on your balance sheet during your next business meeting. I understand that. However, selling this property to local businesses will be a huge asset to the local community. Thank you.
Party level 4255 Albert Drive, Parkdale. Lived here my whole life, born and raised. I started level excavating 14 years ago. Started with just me and a machine. Now we have 13 employees, numerous trucks, trailers, machines. There's a lot of opportunity to grow in this valley, but we need to have a bigger shop yard and a place to meet. I've shown interest in the property for over 6 years now, and would like an opportunity to purchase some of the neighboring land that's next to the shop that we own now. Paul talking about donating. As a local business, we're constantly getting hit up for every sports event, whether you participated in it or not. Football, baseball, softball. We donate over $25,000 a year to the FFA auction for the last 5 years. So it's huge local community for donating back. So, thanks.
Action items. The first one on the list is the Lower Hannell Mill. So I'm gonna ask Amanda if she can give us an overview of the three offers that we've received.
Yep, so long story short, we received three separate offers. The first one, obviously the most known, which is Amazon. It received an amendment to their purchase and sale agreement to close with an extension to May 16th of 2027. Purchase price stayed the same at $3,473,910. Net price of that after commissions comes out to $3,302,214.50. Second offer we received, it was from Dominguez Family Enterprises Inc. With purchase price of $3,251,000 with no commission associated with it. They are working directly with the port. To add to that, job creation of sustaining 60 plus employees and additional 15 to 20 jobs of development expansion on that property. In the last was from a group of individuals, Mr. Aaron Buckles, Corey Level, Neil Creek, Forest Product, Catapult Properties, and Mr. John Davies. With a combined price of $2,582,997.50, with commission taken into account a net price of $2,505,507.57. Also, with job creation for the county. That includes 50 new jobs and 100 total possibly represented across all four. The group did request 4 separate purchase and sale agreements, so the lots would be sold individually, not as one thing. None of the proposed purchase and sale agreements were contingent on each other.
So I opened it up for discussion or questions or comments.
Christy?
Well, I wrote down some thoughts because before we discuss the options in front of us tonight, I do think it's important to acknowledge how we arrived at this point because the circumstances matter to the decision we are being asked to make. The port put a parcel of light industrial land up for sale. Long ago, the county and the state established where light industrial land should exist and what uses are appropriate for those lands. We had a buyer come forward with a strong offer. They completed the studies and reviews. And everyone signed off on it. In other words, we had a ready, willing, and able buyer for the land that was designated for this type of development. They also checked the port's boxes of job creation, as well as support to our surrounding region. Personal opinions about this business aside, they do help small businesses get their local goods to market quickly and supplies products to our region in a competitive time frame. Concerns were raised and they were addressed, but during this period of time, they lapsed in a deadline. I don't think that there was anything unintentional or anything nefarious by their part. But now we're here. I don't know what the commission is going to vote tonight or decide. We have 3 offers in front of us, and I recognize that we have 2 great local offers. Each bring a myriad of differences to the table and for the port. But I do want to be honest about where I stand in that I'm slightly inclined to continue with Amazon because I believe the circumstances that brought us to having 2 offers or to having the 3 offers matter. I believe we had an appropriate buyer had gone through the required process, and I'm concerned that the prolonged uncertainty surrounding the project material changed the circumstances and put the port in a difficult position that we find ourselves in tonight. The larger issue our community needs to consider, there's a legitimate process for determining what land uses are appropriate. The county, the state, the port, ODOT, other agencies have roles in this process. If land has been publicly designated for a particular use and a business follows the required process and satisfies the applicable requirements, we need to have some confidence that those rules actually mean what they say. If the land has been designated for a particular use can nevertheless be made effectively unavailable because a group disagrees with that use, we need to be honest about what that means for economic development in this community. Because businesses have choices where they invest, and predictability matters and certainty matters. And when we create prolonged uncertainty around a project that has followed the established process, there can be real consequences for our county. So that's what I have to say. I wish that we were in a different circumstance. But looking at the three things as proposed today, I have to move forward, and I think that the commission will make the smartest choice for what is in the current need of the financial stability of the port. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Christy. I really enjoyed the public input. I had one concern about the kind of parceling out. I feel like if we were to parcel out the 11 acres, it seems like we should have, would we need to market it that way, that we're selling individual parcels?
I think that's one way to market things. I think, you know, when we marketed this the first time, we accepted offers in both ways. I think we did that the same way this time. It wasn't all or nothing.
Oh, okay.
I think, you know, the community came up with a great way to make it more inclusive, to fit kind of the fact that I think the board approved last time that they were more interested in selling it all together.
On that, I think one of the reasons how I'm deciding is what is the easiest way for staff, having 4 separate agreements, 4 separate contracts. Yes, they're not contingent on each other, but that is just, I think, a lot of work for staff, honestly. And I said this, I think, probably the last meeting when we denied the extension. We need the cash now, and only believe, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe staff comment incorrect, but I believe there's only one offer that is cash. Close that's really very in the very near future, and so that's, I think, for me, with separating the different offers, because I do believe going with Amazon, Bill, I do hear you, and I acknowledge that I acknowledge that we would not be here if there was not a group that is just putting their foot down saying, we don't like this, here's why, wait, here's why, oh wait, here's why. But that being said, and with watching the county and the meeting, I do believe this will be extended on and on and on and just prolonged. And meanwhile, if you look at our financials, we do have things we as a port have to get done for our community recreation. So that's kind of my thoughts on the situation.
Yeah, I do have concerns about how long it would take for Amazon to close and to tie up the property there. And the fact that we have 2 offers from locals kind of takes Amazon off the table for me, because I would love to see it go to local businesses.
Yeah, I think I don't want to make any broad statements, but I may add some discussion items on a prospective motion.
Far less eloquent than you. A lot of times in this position, when we look at items like this, I have to put aside my personal feelings and do what is best for the community or what I feel is best. Sometimes I don't have to. If I could do what I wanted every time, I would always have local businesses in mind. I would always want local businesses. Sometimes I can do both. I appreciate all of your thoughts and ideas on this. The things that matter, we've talked about for years. Look, if it's selling a piece of property, we have an obligation to do what we think is best. We have to, purchase price matters. job creation matters. What the community needs and wants as best as we can understand it matters. So. Very tough decision. I do appreciate everyone's work on it. They've all considered it thoroughly.
Okay, well, I know we do need to consider, the final price is a big thing, but like we discussed, it's not the only thing. And, spurring on the economic development and job creation. And helping local businesses grow is equally as important. So you're right, it is a very hard decision. So it's hard to have consensus and
Discussion points.
Yeah.
I don't have any preamble statements that I want to make. I just, if someone would like to make a motion, then I will make my comments as part of the discussion of that motion.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So does anyone want to make a motion?
I'll do it. I move that the Port Commission authorize the executive director to execute a purchase and sale agreement with Dominguez Family Enterprises for the purchase of the Lower Animal Hill property.
Second. Discussion?
So here is where I would like to make a few comments. I really appreciated what we call internally as offer C, which is the separate property among 4 buyers due to the diversity of enterprises and the fact that they're all local businesses. Fantastic. But the significant price difference between these different offers, that also it matters. It's the public's money. And it's an opportunity to make about $750,000 more dollars, which we can leverage for, further economic development. I mean, one thing that the port does is buys land and cleans it up, like we did with this property, and make it available. So it gives us more money to do things like that. It gives us more money to put into recreation and other things for the public. So that does matter. It does make a difference. The other things that I like about the Dominguez Family Enterprises purchase and sale agreement is it's very clean, it's very fast, and it also supports the growth. I mean, a lot of the things that it supports are the things that speakers have been bringing up in public comment. It supports a local company that wants to grow and wants to do it here in Hood River, wants to stay here. Who without this opportunity might end up growing in Wasco County or Washington or some other place. So I am very concerned, even looking at the Amazon offer, that's still in contention. It's still a serious offer. They're talking about a non-trivial amount of jobs being added to the community. But when I look at this other offer, I think about the potential loss of a significant number of jobs to this community. And I don't want to see that. So that's why I'm going to support this motion for Dominguez Family Enterprises. I think that it basically is the best possible win-win situation for us to pursue.
I would just add, after hearing John, Paul, John, and Karen talk about how long they've been working to build their communities here in Hood River and looking at this specific property for so long, it makes my decision so hard. I feel like I'm leaning more towards offer C after hearing the local plea. So I agree that financially and jobs and economic growth align with option B. But I also see the benefit of opportunity, so it's making my vote very difficult for me. Any other discussion?
Sounds like there's 3 ayes and I'll be an aye as well. Like I said, I think both local businesses would be fantastic. I think that one checks off that added box of public responsibility of public funds. I do feel that it's unfortunate that we're in this situation to be in. Maybe as a community, we'll learn. Trust our government agencies. Yeah, so. I say yes, I agree.
Yes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Would be a nay. Motion passes.